Welcome to a special series of Art Pays Me interviews with the winners of the 2025 Creative Nova Scotia Awards. Presented annually by Arts Nova Scotia and the Creative Nova Scotia Leadership Council, these awards celebrate artistic excellence across McMahon. Award categories are as follows: Creative Community Impact, Prix Grand-Pré, Established Artist, Emerging Artist, Black Artist, Indigenous Artist, and finally, the Portia White Prize, that is given to a person who has made outstanding and significant contributions to Nova Scotia's creative community over a sustained career. Much like the incredible woman that the award is named after. The winner will also choose a protege, an emerging artist or cultural organization that will also receive funding. Collectively, the awards are worth $75,000. Visit artsns.ca to nominate your favorite Nova Scotian artist or nominate yourself. This series would not be possible without the fantastic production work of Heist and Kiki Beats.
Thank you for welcoming us to your community, Squaretown Courts. But before we get started, I would like to know, what is your name?
Yes.
What are your pronouns? And what is your artistic medium?
Lance Sampson,
Yeah.
he, him, 33. My artistic medium, I would say, is singer-songwriter.
Okay.
Yeah, singer-songwriter. There's so much, man. There's so much. I'm not really the greatest with labels.
Yeah.
But one would say that I am a singer, songwriter, rapper, uncommonly versatile.
Yeah.
Composer, producer, director, host, a lot of stuff. I just like to umbrella it by saying an all-around artist.
There you go. There you go. So many of us are have this multidisciplinary thing that it just gets hard to actually label. So I feel that. I feel that 100%. Is there a person, place, or event that led you to this creative practice of yours?
I didn't really growing up in this particular neighborhood, Uniacke Square, and thank you for being here today. This is awesome.
Yeah.
We're on a court that you designed, so this is great. There wasn't really a lot of artistic outlets. It really was basketball or being on the street selling dope. It really was that. There wasn't a lot of older folks in the community at the time when I was growing up in it that were really involved in the arts, or it wasn't really accessible to a lot of us young folks. So there wasn't really much. I feel like what gravitated me towards art was was just watching TV.
Really?
Yeah, watching TV, man. Radio Free Roscoe was
Okay.
a show of mine that I really, really enjoyed. Just the plot of it, the just how those kids came into becoming radio hosts, the nicknames of it, the what do you call it? The anonymity of it, of the characters, and just the music that they chose to overlay with that whole story. That was one show that really kind of was man, I want to do something that expresses myself in some type of way like this.
Yeah.
Using voice, using recording. It's just that whole series really kind of drove me to be I think I want to try to do something, but I wasn't able to. I didn't have access to it until I was older.
Right.
You know.
Right. That possibility model is sometimes something you have to kind of seek for yourself, right?
Yes. And it really wasn't until, Dwayne, it wasn't until I got out of the community and started hanging out with folks outside of the community that I saw were very artistic. I want to give a big shout out to my homie Devis Maxwell-Wana.
Okay.
Who was someone who, when I first ran into them, they were playing guitar and singing. I was like, what is this? I've never seen a black person do this like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he was a really big influence. Just seeing someone who was who was in that world of theater and songwriting and guitar playing. He's a big inspiration. I had to go outside of the community to really find that.
Yeah. So is there a particular artistic project that holds special significance for you?
For me, quite recently, I was thankful and appreciative to be a part of Nocturne last year.
Oh, yes.
And for those who aren't familiar with Nocturne, it's an outdoor festival, installation festival that happens here in Halifax, in Dartmouth. I feel like there's some installations that happen out in Dartmouth. but they asked me to be an anchor artist in that, and I was scared to death. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. What am I going to do? And I really, really leaned on my artistic collaborator, Louisa Adamson, to help me out with that because I had the idea, but I didn't know how to execute it.
Yes, yes.
And Louisa Adamson was like, "Cuz I've been in this for a minute. Like, let's get that idea to the forefront." And like, she really strong armed that.
Yeah.
And we set up in this basketball court, and we set up 4 rooms. It was to represent your grandparents' house. It was meant to feel when you walk into it like you're walking into a safe place of your grandparent,
Yeah.
like you're walking into your grandmother's living room.
Right, right.
What does that look like? You got the chair, you got the pictures all over the walls, you got the old school music playing, and I set up 2 rooms to represent living room. There was a kitchen because, you know, Nanny's always in the kitchen. That's the spot where all the gossip happens. Your aunts, your uncles are all in there. They're telling you guys to go upstairs or go outside, but they're in there on the gossip tip. They're drinking, they're singing. It was in the last room. It was like almost like a wake or like a funeral, like that to symbolize when they're gone. What does that look like? And it was I set up all the matriarchs in my family, like all the different parts of my family tree, just to kind of show like all the different names and all the different families I'm connected to, but also understanding that a lot of these women that I have pictured, they didn't even know of each other. They didn't even know who each other were, but they're connected through their aunts, their kin. They're connected through their grandparent or their grandson, and it's very cool to look at when people started coming through that installation and really feeling the feeling of being in their grandparents' house. I think it did exactly what it needed to do. That's a big artistic project that I'm glad I got to be a part of, and I'm glad I got to work with Louisa Adamson on that. There's another one, Afrivillian Funk, a song of mine. It's called Afrivillian Funk, where it's a song that is dedicated to the people of Africville, also recognizing that there's still a funk within the displacement of Africvillians. Like we're in a community right now that was created because of the displacement of Africvillians. And it was a question that I had within that song and that process was, what is the funk?
Yeah.
Funk is that we're still fighting for this to this day. The funk is that we're still dealing with a lot of the systemic stuff that that Africvillians used to deal with, and we're still dealing with a lot of this stuff. A lot of the systems that are still in place for us not for us to get to a certain point, but not get any further. So like that's the funk. But the video aspect of it was really cool because I wanted to play with the idea of like, what if the mayor was actually on the side of Africvillians? What if? Yeah, at the time, like what if that relationship was established, and how was he able to help Africvillians moving forward? Very fictitious. It wasn't a real. This thing did not happen, but it was just playing with the what if.
Imagine if
The city was actually on the side of Africvillians rather than just displacing them and putting them in Mulgrave Park and Uniacke Square.
Right.
But also too, I mean, the project that I'm currently working on, I just released a song called Scotia Born. I'm really super duper connected to the research that went with this project, and yeah, like I just can't wait for folks to really be able to digest the next project that I'm working on.
Well, I gotta say congrats because a few of those people have hit me up and said, "Have you seen this?" Like, so congrats to you. They are being well received. So.
Thank you. I also got to add, Brother Dwayne, I also got to add like the work that I'm doing with Generations, Black Memories in Nova Scotia. Host of that series for season 1. I was the host and co-director of that. Season 2, I was the director of that. It was an idea that my friends John Walsh and Jeff McCullum came to me and they asked me, like, we work for Eastlink. We got a producer that's down to really kind of pitch a show. Like, what do you want to do? I was like, man, I want to go across Nova Scotia and talk with Black folks about their experiences growing up in this province. I want to try to intergenerationally connect the older generation and the younger generation. I want to talk with them and converse with them about how we can actually come together as Black folks in Nova Scotia. How do we get to work together? How do we heal from a lot of the traumatic experiences? What were people cooking in their houses? Who were they related to? I mean, I found that I'm related to 85% of the people in this whole province from this work. So I like that's one project that we're still continuing to do, and I'm really privileged to be able to do it.
Right. So, I mean, I feel like you sort of answered this question, but I was going to ask you, where do you find your inspiration? Are there like, some seeds that like spark these ideas for you?
Honestly, like I feel like throughout my years when I was younger, like I've always felt kind of like a outcast in terms of like just the way I thought. Like I've
Yeah.
always, like I kind of I kind of got myself into the street life because I was more of a protector. Like I saw my friends within it, and I wanted to make sure that I was protecting them with a lot of the decisions that they're making. I wanted to make that they were making the right decisions through the bad influences that were surrounding us.
Mm-hmm.
But like just I, I I find inspiration by talking with a lot of the folks, talking with people who share some of the same stuff that I might have been questioning, that I question in my brain. Like, you know what I mean? Like, for instance, like I'm not the type of artist or the type of songwriter that can just literally be like, okay, give me a theme and I'm gonna write something. I can do it, but I don't like to do that.
Yeah.
I get inspiration through the energies of talking with folks. And like I get inspiration through like learning of people's experiences. I get inspiration from how people got through some of their hardships. I get inspiration from, who people's families are, what are people's nicknames.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just get inspiration from experiences that happen with others and myself. And like now that I've got to this point in my artistic journey, I feel like I've become more rooted in the African Nova Scotian experience,
Yeah.
and because it's so vast. Like there's so much research and so much um, that has gone with the African Nova Scotian experience, and I'm like, why am I looking for inspiration in America when I got everything right here? You know what I mean? Why am I looking for that inspiration
Yeah.
anywhere else but here? Like there's
Fact.
so much here. And my artistic journey has brought me to really kind of honing in on that stuff and a lot of that history and a lot of those experiences. And that's kind of that's what inspires me to do with the work that I'm doing now.
Yeah, that's cool. Like, so speaking of that, decades, even centuries from now, what would you want people to take away from your work when they're looking back?
The decades. I'll start with decades because century. We might be living in a simulation by then.
Oh, seriously.
Uh, but I would just like folks to look at the work and be like, and look at it and be like, you know what, this brother's trying.
Mm.
This brother's trying. He's doing what he can. This brother is giving our youth tools and hopefully giving our youth tools to really kind of look at themselves and understand who they are culturally, who they are as people. Because I hate to see a lot of the youth, myself included, when I was a youth, I hate to see a lot of the youth just kind of moving through life, being taught by TikToks and Instagrams. You know what I mean? Like you're being taught through social media
Yeah.
when everything you need is right in your grandmother's living room. It really is.
Yeah.
You just got to sit down. You got to listen.
Yeah.
And like obviously there's a lot of values that have changed throughout that, but that's the beauty of it. You got the older generation, the younger generation come together and learn from each other, with each other. Like my grandmother's generation, man, they didn't have a lot of time to be working, processing through a lot of their traumas and stuff. But we got those tools now where I can sit with my grandmother and be like, well, you know what, Nanny, like that actually wasn't right. That wasn't cool. I have the time now to give you for you to unpack a lot of that stuff, right?
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
I want people to look at the work and be like, you know what, that brother has been trying and he's trying.
Yeah.
He's doing what he can. You know what I mean? For us. That's why
Right. Right. So outside of your immediate like tools that you used in your, process of creating,
yeah.
like what is something that you need in your artistic process that you can't do without?
Time and silence.
Oh man, seeing some overlaps. You're not the first person to say something similar to that.
Time and silence. Like that's my best writing comes from when people are asleep. Everybody's asleep. And I finally get to shit when the host is quiet, or when I got that quiet moment, because that's where when my mind is now starting to work. I'm not having to hear this or think about this or process what this might mean 20 minutes from now. What did they actually mean? What did my kids mean at this point?
Yeah.
There's like the noise. Like I can't really work through a lot of that. But once I got the time to work on something, or I got the silence to work on something, that is what I need when it comes to my creation. Is that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny. This is how I know you're a dad, because the same thing for me. It's like you start working and next thing you hear somebody's complaining about something, and you're just like,
oh man, babies arguing for no reason. They didn't even try to hang. What's up, sis? How you doing? Ain't even trying to give up your juice. Like, can't even give your brother a drink, cuz.
Yeah, just seriously, like you're fighting for no reason.
No reason. You know what? So I got older. My oldest, she's 7, and the youngest is 2. Right?
Yeah.
Georgina is our daughter. Julia and ours daughter. Julia and myself's daughter, and she will have like this. This is just, for instance, right? She'll have 4 quarters, and she like this is just an example. And we'll go to Albany, Landon,
Yeah.
and we'll go to the gum machine, and she'll get 4 gum, and she won't give a single person the gum. She won't. Can I have a gum? No. Jamel, our son,
Yeah.
he'll have 4 quarters. He'll put them all in. He'll get the gum, and he'll be like, "Here's one for you, mommy.
Right.
Here's one for you, Gigi. Here's one for you, Dada, and here's one for me." I was like, "That's my boy right there." But Georgina, I'm like, "You know what? I can't stand you right now, but I love you. Okay, I love you." But I love seeing that in my daughter because like she has, like we're in a time where she has that time and space and that understanding of her parent to be who she is. You know what I mean? With some, my mom's generation, because they didn't get that, because it's this, don't do that. No, you can't do this. You know what I mean? Like there was not a lot of time and process to actually be who you are as people before you become parents, right?
Right.
Like I really tip my hat off to my mom Dukes for raising us 3 babies by herself, right?
Mm.
But it's like, what was it like for you before children? You know what I mean? Like, talk to me about that.
Yeah.
Let's process that. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
our children now, because they can do whatever they need to be who they are, right? If it takes, no, I'm not giving you my gum. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Love you still.
And they get to see their parents being like people,
Yes.
you know? Yeah.
Beautiful.
It is. So a question that I wanted to ask you is, I remember you talked about the rapper bit. I remember like when I first got put onto you, I knew you as a rapper, and then you started to evolve, and you started to just, it seemed like you just, like you said, you embraced these unique things about you and where you're from and all that kind of stuff. And I know that label of rapper followed you for a while. What was it that made you brave enough to say, I don't care about any of that? This is what I want to do, regardless of what people think I am.
Oh man, it's a great question because oh my gosh. Okay, so there's a few things. So I was before when I was rapping, when I was just strictly writing bars, like going toe to toe with the best. I shouldn't say the best, but just go toe to toe. I was going by Lex, and that's my street name, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of my friends, they would call me Lex, right? I recognized when I got out of Spring Hill, when I got out of jail for the first time, I was going under the name Lex. I recognized that the things that I was writing about, I was not living. This is not me. I'm just writing just to write. Like I'm being very aggressive. That's not me. I'm not actually giving people who I really am as a person, right?
Okay.
And then I was recording out my homie Loke Stan. Shout out to Loke Stan. I was recording out in his basement, and I was like, I'm changing my name, my rap name. He's like, man, what are you talking about? Didn't believe me, right?
Yeah.
I said, I'm changing my name to Aquakultre, and he laughed. He's like, I was like, but I don't know where this, like, I don't know why I got so hung up on aquaculture. I really don't. Like, I think it might have been the syllables of it, aquaculture. I think it might have been the 4 syllables. I think it might have been like in the versatility, like the understanding that like the water and how important it is to us as humans, and how important it is to a lot of the life, or how it embodies shapes. And I don't know where it came from, but I was a plumber at the time, so that was probably it's coming from. But culture is just generally my love and appreciation for music.
Okay.
Like music and what it does for me and what it has done for me as a person, as a human being, right?
Yeah.
My culture is the love of music. And when it actually took that name change, to really start understanding all the different things that I had inside of me. Like it really took that name change for me to understand. It really took that name change for me to start writing honestly. Like, you know what I mean? And what really kind of drove it home for me is when I put on my first EP, and there's no shade to our organization, Music Nova Scotia. There's no shade to it.
Yeah.
But the people at the time that were in it, when I released that project, they immediately labeled it as rap in the hip hop, but there's not a rap on it. There's not a, like,
You just love that?
my first project is called Water Temple.
Alright.
Singer-songwriter. This is where I learned how to play guitar. This is the song that won me Searchlight. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I wrote songs when I was in prison. Like, this is the music that I was like, man,
Yeah.
this is who I am as an artist. But I immediately got labeled as hip hop, and I emailed them. I was like, you guys might want to give that to King Moose. You might want to take me off of that and give that to King Moose.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But it was that like being put in the box at that time where I was like, I'm outside of that.
Mhm.
Like, I'm not getting put in that. I'm not. And it just, like, once I changed the name, it just allowed me to start being a bit more free and honest with who I am as a person and as an
Yeah.
artist.
Interesting. Well, I mean, Lance Aquakultre.
Yeah. Lance Sampson of Aquakultre.
Lance Sampson of Aquakultre. So, like, Aquakultre now, to be clear, is a group now.
It's not a group.
It's not a group.
It's still the artistic
you.
vision of
Okay.
Lance, of me.
Okay.
I do play with the group.
Ah,
I play with the group, and I'm very fortunate to have a brother like Jackson Fairfax Perry in my corner, who's now my musical director, and we hash out a lot of ideas. We wrote a lot of music together on my new project.
okay.
But Aquakultre is the artistic vision of Lance Sampson.
Right. Okay.
Me.
Got it. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Get it. Thank you for welcoming us to your home community, Uniacke Square.
Yes, sir.
We much appreciate it, and it's been a pleasure again to learn more about your process and your artistic vision and all that great stuff.
Yeah, man.
Congratulations on the award.
Thank you.
Oh,
Jeff.
one other thing I want to say too.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna break the fourth wall. I applied for this award, and I was mad that I didn't get it. But when I found out it was you, I was like, hey.
Well, guess what? 2
much
years
respect.
ago, 2 years ago, I think it was 2 years ago, I applied for it, and guess what? Shantae Gregg got it. I was pissed. But I was like, I understand. Like,
And you're like,
that's the OG. I understand. I understand.
yeah.
I understand.
Yeah, it's like if it's somebody, then
Thank
you
you,
know.
my brother.
Yeah, no,
Thank you, my
no,
brother.
much respect. I appreciate it. Congratulations.
Thank you, man.
Thank you for listening to Art Pays Me. Hit me up on socials at Art Pays Me pretty much everywhere. And let me know what you think. I love connecting with listeners. If you're an artist looking for clothes that celebrate who we are as professional creative people, check out artpaysme.com. And don't forget, visit artsns.ca for more information about the Creative Nova Scotia Awards. Peace.